if I can be specific, if anyone's got any questions about the app, then we're happy to go.
So the applicability way beyond cancer. So, just thinking about my 87-year-old dad who didn't do particularly well, but he's in hospital recently and getting these questions. Equally, obviously the questions aren't quite as tailored, but and is it able to be adjusted by novices like you and me at home? So when they go, that they get, mind you, can't use a mobile phone to read that stuff. One just doesn't turn it off. But is that,
Absolutely. I mean, the app allows customised question text to be created. It, in the context of like my mum, your dad, we just assume that when they have consultations that one of us will be with them, and hopefully my son will be with us so that then we can work out how to use the phone. But yeah, it's totally customisable. One of the things that we've sat there and thought about, and Steve rolls his eyes when I say this, is that it'd be quite handy for when you saw your lawyer or your real estate agent as well. So. No, it'll be released formally on the 16th of November, which is at the start of the COSA conference. We feel it's very important that it's launched and promoted directly to the broader oncology community. So it will be scrubbed and polished even further between now and then, and it will be in the App Store probably before then if you look, but it will be formally kind of promoted and touted at COSA.
Richard, Adrian Dolhanty from Bayer. What's been the response from oncologists?
Generally, really positive, and we're obviously reserved about that. We want to make sure that they're included, that they feel comfortable with it. But generally speaking, very positive. The issue for them, obviously, it must create enormous confusion in their life if family members don't get the right message or if patients forget the message that's been given. We were talking to a radiographer the other day who thought this will be great because I can give verbal instructions to patients to go away and come back prepared. So we think that the extent of it is going to be enormous. There's no question that in 2 years' time, what the app's functionality is will be enhanced beyond all imaginings at the moment, because so much of, really from the days of the plague, your doctor came and saw you and you asked questions, and really nothing's changed for the last 500 or 600 years. And no disrespect to any clinicians in the room, and so suddenly there's a way to take away information that's not written. Oh, sorry, Dennis.
Thanks, Richard. Dennis Strangman. I think it's a tremendous thing that you're doing. I just got two kind of questions. One is, how will you customise it for specific cancers? I mean, there are about 150 to 200 different types of cancers, so there will have to be very specialised questions. The second thing is that years ago, I remember when I asked my late wife's specialist if I could record his discussion, he kind of looked at me for a few minutes, and you could see going through his mind was the idea, is this bloke going to sue me? Does he want to get a record of what I'm about to say so that he can come back at me later on? Have you thought about that as how you might be able to deal with it with the medical profession?
I think that the medical profession is reasonably conservative, so I expect that problem. But I think the argument is pretty clear that the issue, and I have no statistics to back this up, but I'm sure that the issue why litigation occurs is not because clinicians say the wrong thing, but because patients hear the wrong thing and family misinterpret what the patients told them. So I think that any situation where we clarify communication, and to be quite honest, I guess you would probably have to say if a clinician doesn't want his advice to be recorded, maybe it's time to get a second opinion. Would be, I think there will be pushback in certain instances, Dennis, but I think that by and large people will come to accept it, and I think more and more often one of the things that we know is happening is that there are recording apps available, and people are walking into their doctor with the phone recording everything that goes on. They're just not telling the doctor. So at least this brings it out in the open, and most importantly, it gives it structure, and so that there is a a structured, sensible way to go through it. It's not just a ramble.
Richard, can I make a response? I think if you're going to have a trusted relationship with your specialist, the fact that he's prepared to give you advice, for you to record that shouldn't be an issue at all. I see the app as being both a prompt as well as a prop to allow consumers, patients, to have the confidence to ask the questions and to develop that ongoing relationship where, in fact, the specialist, the oncologist or the GP is, in fact, working with the patient around the patient's health.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's very articulately, eloquently put. That's our goal. Yeah.
Richard, Karen Barfoot from Bristol Myers Squibbs. Great to hear you're launching this at COSA. What other channels are you planning to use to promote the availability of the app? Because timeliness for a patient to get this as early as possible after their diagnosis will be critical.
Yeah, our hope is we will certainly go out very hard with media. We think it's, and our PR people importantly, for which we can thank Cancer Australia because we have budget for it, think it's sexy enough that it will get widespread usage. We will then push it out through the hospitals, through the cancer centres, and we'll probably come and talk to you, Karen, and various other people in this room about what their reps are doing, and we'll send them out with DL brochures into every cancer clinic and every consulting room in the country. The goal that we would love to get to, and it'll probably take a little while, but we'll be talking about this at COSA, is that when a cancer clinician sends out a request, an appointment, a diary request out to a patient to come in, what we'd love to have is the link to the download so that they come prepared with the app already loaded. Because the sequence of things is that you usually know you've got cancer before you go to see an oncologist. It's usually there's been a diagnosis and a test and you finally get stuck on a path in some way. So we're hopeful that with their engagement, then when the patient is sitting either in the waiting room or before they get there, they will have the app on their phone. And it takes about 10 seconds to load, so it's not too bad. So it'll be a process. Okay, I think if that's it, that's great. And thank you all very much. And thanks particularly to our patients, John and Lillian, Kate, and particularly to Susie Ward, who's sitting over there, who wasn't a patient, but she's a carer of her late husband, Bruce, and understands better than anyone else in this room the challenges that going through the journey of cancer brings. So thank you all, and please feel free to accost anybody, particularly people other than me, about how to dem the app. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.